Hi everybody and welcome back to I Love My STEM Career. This is our day 2, our final day, and we're actually on to our final speaker for today, and I'm very, very excited. It was one person sad about that, everyone else wants to go home and have their lunch. So we have got our last person for the day, who is Chris Trotter, who is the investment manager at Clarendon Fund Managers. So welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. So you have got a degree in accounting and finance. So I'm assuming maths was your kind of stronger subject at school?
Yeah, at school, I was always better at maths than anything else. So
yeah.
Art or music, definitely not for me. Bottom of the class. Math, if I put a little bit of effort into it, I would usually do pretty well.
You could do it, okay, yeah.
Yeah, usually towards the top of the class in math. And the rest were a bit of a mix, but math and science was always, up there.
So was it kind of, did you feel it was kind of mapped out for you that, you were like, I'm not gonna be a musician, I'm not gonna be Picasso, like, I think probably have to go down the road of maths here?
I think I knew I wasn't gonna be a musician from, I was about 3. It wasn't gonna be for me, but I always knew that my career would be something along the lines of business or technology, just because that's what I find interesting. I was never a creative person in the traditional sense, but I always loved systems and business and mathematics, and I always found I could understand that maybe a little bit more than some of the other people in my class.
A different type of creativity, probably.
Yeah, I still think you have to be creative in my line of work because you have to understand what the art of the possible is, and you have to think of ways around different problems, but if it involves drawing a picture,
no, not
for me.
And so you did accountancy, you did accountancy, finance things. I would assume, not being from a kind of maths, finance background, I would assume you do accountancy, you become an accountant. So why did you kind of go off that path or veer from it?
Yeah, I think for me, I wanted to do accountancy when I was in school. I was weighing up whether to do computer science or accounting, but I'd been doing coding and I realized that I didn't want to do coding 9 to 5. I'd prefer something more in business. So I thought going into accountancy, it'll give me those fundamental business skills that you don't get in other subjects. And then once you've got that training and you've got your chartered accountancy qualification, well, there's just so many options that are open to you. So I did the accountancy qualification and the degree and worked in London for a bit. And then I realized that I didn't want to spend 9 to 5 just doing accounting for companies. I wanted to try and mix it up, go a bit more into the technology field, and that's when I moved back to Belfast and Clarendon had the investment manager role open. So that allowed me to combine my interest in technology and science and mathematics with the business skills I got in the chartered accountancy. So I thought it was a bit of a good mix.
Yeah, it's kind of the best of both worlds. And what about, like, you're an investment manager? What is that? Because every time someone says investment manager, I'm like, I don't really
understand
what that is. Is it like Dragon's Den? Is it like The Apprentice? What is it?
Yeah, it can mean different things. In venture capital, an investment manager goes out there into buildings like the Ormo Baths here, where you've got lots of technology companies. You meet the founders, you meet other investors, and you try and find good investment opportunities. Okay. So you're trying to find the next Facebook or the next Tesla.
That's cool.
That
is
sort of
creative.
thing. Yeah, absolutely. You have to understand what companies have the potential to reach that kind of scale. Now, we haven't found any Teslas or Facebooks here yet, but there could be one in the next, in the next couple of years. You could have a massive business like that being founded today. Maybe it's already in this building. So you get to know the founders, you get to know the other investors, and you try and develop a relationship with them. You try and understand where they're trying to take the business. You try and understand how much money they're going to need. Yes. And then what I do is try and connect that founder and that business with other investors. And we also have a fund within Clarendon that we can invest into that startup with. So
in terms of the investment manager role, I just find it really interesting. So basically, you find the next, say, let's go with the next Facebook's massive. So what you do is you invest, your company invest in it, connect them to other investors so it can kind of grow and grow and grow with a bit of money behind it. And then from the investment manager point of view, how does that work for you guys? So is it like, once they're Mark Zuckerberg, once they're super famous, you guys get a cut of Facebook? How does that work?
Yeah, so most of these companies, once you've got a bit of money behind them and they're growing and there's lots of revenue, then they'll usually try and sell the business to an even bigger company, or they'll list it on the stock exchange. When that company exits, is what we call it, then the investors will get their money back, and hopefully many times more than what they put in.
Oh, okay.
You'd usually hope to get, for the best investments, you'll get 100 times plus your money back. You know, if you put in £1 million, you might get 100 million back if it's a very good investment. Now, most investments, you'll probably lose all your money. But
yes, that's the risk.
That's the risk. You hope that the ones that do very well, like the Facebooks, will more than return the ones that don't do so well.
Do you see, because there is a bit of risk in things, like, is it exciting? Is it an exciting job?
Absolutely, yeah. You never really know what you're going to get. You're going to board meetings, and companies will have ups and downs. One month they'll be doing really well, they've won a new contract. Maybe the next month something terrible happens to the business. Maybe they've lost a massive contract. The next month someone might have come in to ask to take them over. You know, they want to buy the business. So you really never know what you're going to get, and you get to, I think the reason why I like it is I've got the technology skills and the business skills, so I'm able to mix those up and give the business advice to help them grow.
And for people who are watching, we've got loads of young people and teens. I mean, I probably wouldn't have associated investment management with STEM, with tech and things, but would you encourage them into that career?
Absolutely. I think STEM can really change people's lives. You know, if there's a lot of people out there, their options can be somewhat limited, but anybody can learn to code now. You can go on Udemy or Pluralsight and, you know, spend 50 quid and you can learn how to program over the course of 6 months. You can build your own little app just to get experience of how coding works and deploying systems. And you can then use that to get a job or grow your own business. So there's a lot of people out there that could be working minimum wage jobs, but with STEM and learning how systems work and developing their experience, they could be earning, you know, really good salaries out there, working for some really good companies, or finding their own company. You know, STEM gives you the flexibility to do all that.
And obviously, you know, with your job, you've met up with loads of people who founded their own companies, loads of startups, met some really, really cool people. Do you feel in all those people that you've met, the kind of startup people, startup culture, are there particular kind of personality attributes other than being good at maths, being good at technology? Are there other things that are important?
Yeah, I would say within that startup ecosystem, the math skills are probably some of the least important. The most important things are just having a really good, being able to form really good relationships, being very social, being able to go outside your comfort zone, but then recognizing where there's an opportunity and really pursuing that opportunity very aggressively, and then trying to get investors to come in to back your idea so that you can build a team around you, because often the very best founders, they'll surround themselves with great teams, and it's the great teams around the founder that makes the successful business. The founder by themselves can't really achieve all that much. Yeah,
so we're kind of hearing, we've kind of heard throughout today and yesterday about the importance of the community and the team, and even JP, our last person there, was saying it's about who you surround yourself with. So, you know, I probably growing up was mistakenly thinking that STEM is quite solitary, maths is solitary, but they're not if you're doing it. You know, it has to be a team environment.
I think not anymore. You know, there's not really that eureka moment anymore where one person comes up with the next scientific discovery. You need to be working as part of teams, and it's teams who really drive those positive outcomes. So you need, even if you're the very best scientist or mathematician in the world, you need to be surrounding yourself with really high quality teams so that you can leverage everybody's experience.
Yeah, and finally today is I Love My STEM Career. So we're trying to encourage people, trying to inspire young people and teens to possibly consider a career in any of the STEM subjects. So would you tell us just what is the biggest and best thing that you love about your career, why you would tell other people to do it?
Yeah, well, I heard JP talking there about people, and you know, people being so important and getting to work with people, and that is something I really love. But I think for most people out there, if they're a school leaver and they're not quite sure what to do with their life and what to do, like I didn't know what to do. So I think it's just about giving yourself that basic skill set that you can have lots of different options open to you.
Yeah.
And if you can understand systems and technology, well, you're going to have a great career over the next 50 years, and you'll be able to be flexible. You won't just be working in a very limited area. you'll have lots of different careers over the next 50 years. So give yourself that basic toolkit to allow you to explore those opportunities.
Yeah, and again, it's, you know, yet another perspective today, and investment managers totally different from everything else we've heard today. So thank you so much for giving us that insight. Can we get a round of applause, please?
Thanks for having me.
Chris Trotter, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you.